Salutations, Utopians. Wanted to talk a little bit of recapping on this game tonight that I just witnessed between the Chicago Sky and the Eastern Conference returning champions, New York Liberty. Real quick. As you all know, we've had a little bit of a circus right now between the Battle of Fever, the Indiana Fever, and Chicago Sky. Um, Carter hip checked Caitlin Clark, and I never even got to see her game the way I'd like to. So I just knew that I didn't like the narrative being painted about Kennedy. And today I had the privilege of really setting my eyes on her game. And first of all, some things I drew right away. This is an old school competitor. She clearly has graduated from the school of Kyrie, Uncle Drew's University. She's the spirit of Allen Iverson. She grew up watching 90s basketball. That is an old school gritty person right there. When she gets on the fast break, this chick looks like Russell Westbrook. She's full steam ahead. She's not worried she only has one gear. She's a bucket. The New York Liberty had them down almost a dub, almost 20 points tonight. She won on a scoring spree. Angel Reese is on the bench. Cardosa is playing spot minutes right now as she gets reacclimated to playing basketball after missing the first part of her rookie career, the first month, nursing an injury. And I'm just so impressed. And when she was in the media telling them, oh, I don't know what's so special about her game, all she does is shoot threes. Well, my oh my, I can see why she thinks that. This is a 3-level scorer. I mean, and when I say 3 levels, she gets to the paint, as small as she is, she gets to absorbing contact and still finishing through it. So, we need to really truly revisit. First of all, she plays a universal style of game that can cross over, man or woman. She's very entertaining. She has a nice mechanic on her jump shot, very fluid coming out of her dribble. She plays with a spirit and a feistiness that only few people can rival. We've heard the Dylan Brooks comparisons, the Rodman type, Draymond. Ironically, they had a little back and forth yesterday. Well, she went and said something back to him when he said Indiana needs to get an enforcer, and she said, we're grown adults and you talking about an enforcer. So she definitely comes from that Gary Payton 90s era where people bark at each other. It's nothing personal, like I told y'all. This W, here's what it is, man. In the dating world, a lot of men don't realize this or haven't been privy to this. One of the mechanisms that women use to judge whether a man is qualified to be worthy of being dated or building a kingdom around is how a man is being perceived amongst other men. And so, historically, the thing we always make a mistake on is a lot of men don't look at women the same way. Let me see how she interacts around other women. So this is a lot of people's first time getting familiar with how women interact with each other. They're not very nice to each other if they don't know each other a lot of times. It's a dog-eat-dog community in the WNBA. You got first-round picks getting cut. Same year they get drafted. People are fighting for their life, not to mention the pay is trash. Okay, if we're just being candid, not to be a world-renowned athlete. You got to go overseas, which is why Brittany Griner was over there caught up thinking that she could play with American rules in Russia, and that whole debacle happened. But you see players going overseas just to get more pay in the off season. Now Breanna Stewart is launching a league called Unrivaled, which is similar to the concept of the Big Three that Ice Cube has. And Breanna Stewart is, by the way, unbelievable. I mean, She is to um, New York what Patrick Ewing and what they were hoping Rebecca Lobo was going to be. 3 level score, physical. I mean, the way she just took the game to a whole nother level tonight, where it was just like she was running off screens, and it was like, I'm not gonna run from the bully no more. I'm gonna go right in their chest. There was one play where she's goes from just inside the free throw line to a little bit closer inside the paint to right underneath the rim tip in. 3 attempts to make one bucket, and I couldn't get the replay, but it just gave me goosebumps. Like she was just throwing them bows in the mosh pit, and was like, "We just gonna get gangster." Like it was crazy. It's crazy how she absorbs contact and still maintains concentration, and it's not in a Kyrie kind of, absorb contact, D rolls, layup kind of way. No, she's on some Shaq type of stuff. It's like, how did you even get that off? And it's not like off the backboard 5 feet from the rim. She's shooting it like a guard, but it's contact like how bigs get. And so and she has the perfect mechanics coming off the screen too. That's the thing. Very cerebral. Sabrina Ionescu was a little overwhelmed tonight by the Chicago Sky's physicality, but Breanna Stewart, when I tell you she put the team on her back on her in some kind of like Xena warrior princess or Herculean like effort tonight, that was exactly what it was. She is a savage warrior out there, and it's crazy how smooth she could navigate through a landmine. I'm telling you, this chick right here, she could navigate through a landmine. How smooth she can navigate through physicality is what I'm trying. It's like she's moonwalking through a minefield of bombs. And it's just crazy because there was no one to look left or right to down the stretch. She put that team on her back. It is no question on some Mamba staff who team that is. And you could tell the experience gap between her and the young front line of Cardosa, Angel Reese, and the myriad of other bigs they have on their roster. Don't get me wrong, they have some workhorse. Their power forwards, a dog also gets rebounds with the best of them, but in a physical low post defender, old school box out type. But that Breanna Stewart was unconscionable. But this goes. Let's get back to Chennedy Carter. Make no mistake, there's no gimmick, and for her, I'm gonna tell you right now, that moment with Caitlin Clark is equivalent to Angel Reese doing what Angel Reese did for Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is doing for Chennedy Carter, because it really opened up some eyes tonight, and I was privileged enough to be able to witness it, just doing what I naturally do, and I just happened to stumble on some amazing content to watch. It was just a great night for the W. That it couldn't have been any better considering the media attention. It did not disappoint, did not fall short, and I'm honored to witness that. All right, Utopians, I'll try to do better next time. Global out.